betting the not so much anymore is more down to my own fault. I need to get studying again to get the edge back. But yeah, it's a great product. I love the exchange. It's really, in my opinion, one of the better bookmakers, if not the best bookmaker out there.
If you're a bipod player, or any player for that matter, you'll need to get your bets on by 12:20, which is the start of the second race at Hollywoodbets Scottsville. We're racing up the lane over 1,200 meters, and at the early time of recording, scratched is number 6, Fire Phoenix from the Gary Rich stable, and number 11, Approachable Lass from the Louis Goosen stable. So those two will take no part. As we tell you time and time again, and we'll continue to tell you, check your scratchings, jockey changes, equipment changes, betting moves before taking your final bets, because this show is recorded early Saturday morning, the day before the race meeting. Graham, when you look at it at first glance with the scratching of Approachable Lass, it does open the door a little for some of the others. Pretty Analia and Sea of Tears, the two Paul Gadsby runners, are ultra consistent, but they are very well tried. Pretty Analia having her 11th bite at the cherry, and Sea of Tears her 16th bite at the cherry. I'm not for 1 second suggesting that they can't win. Of course they can win, but I am leaning a little towards number 3, La Prestissimo, purely because she's lightly raced and she may have a lot more to bring to the table this time.
Yeah, it's not a race that I like. I've loaded up the first leg of the bipod. My suggested bet for today, as you'll see later on, is a bipod. I've loaded up this leg. We've got 2, what I believe, ready-made bankers later on in the card, so I'm taking no chances here. I have obviously included number 3, La Prestissimo, with number 4, Pretty Analia. Number 5, Sea of Tears, is obviously one that's also got to go in to the opening leg of the bipod, as well as number 9, I've Got Wings. I've thrown in the scratching number 11, Approachable Lass, as well, just to get the tote favourite and to perhaps double up. So I've gone wide in the opening leg of the bipod. I do think that La Prestissimo has scope for much more improvement than both Pretty Analia and Sea of Tears. As you said, they're both pretty well exposed, as is number 9, I've Got Wings. I mean, you mentioned how many runs the Gatsby pair have had. I've Got Wings is coming to the maiden races for the 27th time in her career. But the form is there and she could certainly win it. So it's not a strong field. It's a very shallow race. I do agree with you. I think that La Prestissimo is the one that's most likely to improve and would get my narrow vote as the likely winner here, but not with a great deal of confidence.
One other horse to include for the quartets, number 1, Zulu Langa, Corinne Bestel's runner for Eric Burr. Keegan de Mello rode on debut. He didn't ride her second time out, but he jumps back aboard this Mambo and Seattle filly for the third time that she makes, third time that she gets to the races, Zulu Langa. Those 2 efforts weren't horrendous by any means, and in this very weak field, she could certainly improve to run 3rd or 4th to help make the quartets pay. But that's race 2, the first leg of the bipod. We're going to move on swiftly to the 3rd race, which kicks off the place accumulator.
It's Donovan Everett from Cape Racing, and I'd just like to say it's an absolute pleasure to be involved with Intrabet and Cape Breeders in this golf day today here at Pearl Valley. It's fantastic for the industry to see all the relevant stakeholders coming down and having a good time and networking, and it's exactly what the industry needs right now in terms of moving forward and recreating some positivity to take us forward into the next year.